with me. This is the third installment of Cave Music Podcast. I'm Danny. Also, if you're still with me, sorry, this one took a little bit longer than usual. Been busy. It's hard to squeeze it in between, work and naps and certain things. Anyways, one of the things that kept me busy was I went to the OSU, that's Oregon State, not Ohio State, Beavers baseball game, the clincher to get them into the World Series against K-State. Sat right behind home plate in the first row. I was the handsome one to the left of the batter if you watched the game yourself. It's a good game. Thought they were going to lose it at the end like most of the Beavers teams do. And, well, any team that I like for that matter. But they held it together. That Michael Conforto, he's going to be a badass in the MLB. I don't really care because I don't watch much baseball, but I had to support the team. Anyways, got me thinking about a couple things while I was there. Who wrote "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," and who collects royalties on that shit? They must be a rich motherfucker. That's all I know. I wish I was cashing in on the "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" fortune. It's got to be somewhere. They use that shit everywhere. The other thing I was thinking about is how fucking boring would baseball be if the tie did not go to the runner. Think about that one for a second. It'd be about half as many runs scored, I'm sure. So every game would end like soccer 1-0 or some shit like that. Not an American sport anymore. 1-0. We want scoring! Okay, anyways, they play Mississippi State on Saturday. First game of the College World Series. Go Beavs. I might be paying attention to that. Seems like the only sport we could win a national championship in, so fuck yeah. Also on Saturday, UFC 161. The main event's Rashad Evans, Dan Henderson. I believe that they got bumped up to the main event because somebody got hurt. I forget now who it was. Oh, Mauricio Shogun Hua was supposed to fight somebody, and Chael Sonnen tried to step up after they got injured, and he had visa issues getting into Canada. I'm guessing that has to do with being a felon and a known cheater. They don't like cheaters in Canada. Anyways, calling all the main event fights, main card fights, and one extra fight this week because I think it's going to be a good one. Jake Shields versus Tyron Woodley. I believe they're welterweights. Shields bounces up and down. I think Woodley does too, but I got Shields with a third round submission. It's going to be submission of the night. He's got slick ground game, and he's powerful. Probably be the only one that can bully Tyrone Woodley around. So we got Shields third round submission. First fight of the main card. My boy HD Pat Barry versus Sean Jordan. Gotta go with HD on this one. I'm always excited to see him fight. He's a bad man if the fight stays on the feet. Always highlight reels. I'm gonna go for the second round knockout for HD, and let's go with the spinning heel kick. It's been real popular. It's trending. The spinning heel kick is trending, so I think Barry can pull it off. Sean Jordan's not one of the taller heavyweights, so his chin's a little closer to Barry's reach. Either way, he's getting knocked out. He'll try to take him down. He might succeed in the first, but Barry will get back up. Next fight. It's a girl fight. Chick fight! Alexis Davis versus Rosie Sexton. I gotta admit, I don't know a whole lot about these two, which is rare. But from what I do know, Rosie Sexton's pretty much coming up a weight class in order to fight for the UFC. She's lighter, seems to get bullied by the heavier fighters. So going with Alexis Davis for a unanimous decision. Next fight on the card, Ryan Jimmo versus Igor Pograyak. I always fuck that name up. I don't give a shit. Either way, I'm going with my boy Ryan Jimmo. He had a slip up in his last fight. The first one was a 7-second knockout. So he's an exciting fighter. I'm not sure what he was trying to pull against James Tehuna, but I don't think he'll slip up again. I think he's a pretty elite light heavyweight. But Igor's also real tough, so I got Jimmo by decision, even though I'm hoping for a quick knockout because I want to see him do the robot. Second to last fight on the card. This is another name that I still don't know how to say, but whatever. I hope he doesn't care. Stipe Miocic. Dude's an American, and that's his name. I don't get it. But versus Roy Nelson. Not much to say about this one. Going with Nelson and his right hand for a first round KO, because that is also trending. The big boy's getting some cheeseburgers. First round KO, Roy Nelson. Main event, Rashad Evans versus Dan Henderson. Both of these guys getting up there in age. Henderson's older, but I don't even think talk about retirement yet. He's doing the Randy Couture deal. Rashad Evans, on the other hand, has talked about it, and he says he's hungry now, and he's bringing back the cocky Rashad or whatever. But we'll see. He's got a chance if he does bring it like that, like he did against Forrest Griffin and Chuck Liddell. But I don't see it. I see the old man coming out. He throws bombs. Rashad doesn't really do well with that. He's going to sleep. I got a night full of KOs is what I got. I think Pat Barry's getting KO of the night. Like I said, Jake Shields submission of the night. And I think Woodley and Shields, or possibly the sleepers Alexis Davis and Rosie Sexton for fights of the night. And that's all on that. And right now, I want to welcome back, I guess I should say, my good friend Nate. He's back in action. Nate the Great.
Yeah, what's up?
Had so much fun last week. He had to come back again this week. Yeah. We got some shit to talk about this week, or what? We got some time to fill up. I only killed 8 minutes so far.
Ooh. I just got a text.
Oh no, we've got a text.
It's from my girlfriend.
Is that what we're gonna call her now?
I don't have one of those. All right, moving on. What's up?
I don't know if we can
about?
move on at this point. We got a revelation, folks.
What's the revelation?
She's who was that just called or texted?
Just some girl. Who's a friend.
Okay.
I just phrased it improperly.
All right. Anyways, the other thing that kept me busy this weekend was my sister's graduation, and it was the first time I'd been on that side of one. I remember how it was sitting in the sun baking and like in the graduation. Yeah. A few years ago myself, but I don't remember. We went to school
together, but I didn't graduate with you guys. I was in.
Oh, I was gonna slide right over that. Okay, so no, you're a good person to have here then.
I got my GED when I was like 16, so.
Okay, you're a good person to have here then.
17.
This is where I noticed about it that I didn't really know before was all of the speeches before they start calling everybody's names fucking suck.
Oh, dude.
I had the douche chills through the entire
you guys
fucking
had
ceremony.
Erica's mom, though.
We did Mrs. Hall?
She is cool.
Okay.
She was cool. But it was too long.
I don't remember any.
I remember
one of them
she was talking about cliches the entire time.
Really?
Everybody told me not to use cliches.
Okay, you know what the what the fucking
that's all I remember.
The lady did this time? Dr. Seuss.
Oh my god.
like she started doing her own Dr. Seuss
That
and then
would work.
talked about Dr. Seuss.
That would
and
work
then,
for a graduation ceremony if it's going from kindergarten.
Yeah, if kids are graduating
from preschool to kindergarten.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it was well done for what it was, but it was fucking, I don't know, it was boring.
Yeah,
and oh my, don't get me started on the I don't know if it's the valedictorians.
Oh,
that do the speeches.
Yeah.
There's two kids. But oh my god, the kid.
Generally, yeah, it's one of the valedictorians or the salutatorians that do it.
By the way, that they had 14 valedictorians. We
Must
had
been
2
salutatorians, dude.
No, 14 valedictorians.
Straight up 4.0s. All through.
14.
Damn.
I know, that's ridiculous, dude. Our class had 2.
Are kids getting smarter? Were we exceptionally stupid?
I think
our
well,
class?
I was talking about it with my dad the other day actually, and it almost goes in like phases because I don't know if you remember, but the year behind us in high school was way worse than us, and then the year behind them was a lot worse.
I don't remember one smart underclassmen like
they and as far as getting in trouble and shit out of everybody, they've been the worst.
Yeah, it seemed like the bad kids were the cool ones.
I think we were worse than the class above us, maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know actually.
I don't
we were
know.
Definitely
that was
worse
my older
than
sister's.
We were
class,
definitely
dude.
worse than 2 classes above us.
My older sister can make an entire class.
2 classes above us, and then above them,
thousands.
those were good kids. And then it started getting bad with the class above us, which was also Marshall's brother and all of those people, and Nate and other Nate, and so then there's us, and then there's the terrible 2 grades below us, and then it started getting good again, I think. And my dad says, you know, since he's known like the parents and everything, and
my little brother was 4 years behind us. And his class, not good.
They were shitty too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so maybe it kept getting worse, and just in the last few years it got better. A couple years, I guess.
Or maybe it was 3.
But my dad says,
3.
He says, you know, fucking knowing all the parents for all those generations, me, my sister, my other sister, that like a lot of the kids in my grade and the grade below me and stuff were all raised by single parents, and fucking all the kids in my sister's class that just graduated, and then my other sister's class that graduated last year, who they had like 12 or 13 valedictorians.
You're saying they were raised by a single parent?
No, they all have
families,
double parent household, and all of this shit. And you know, I'm a firm believer that if the shit's not working between you and your spouse or whatever, then I think for the kid,
for sure,
instead of growing up watching awkwardness,
if it's so terrible that it's going to impact,
you can't stay together for you got to make your relationship with them work. You gotta have a good, you know, a good just communication. You gotta have good lines of communication.
Lines of communication.
And you know, even if she's a fucking psycho, if you got a kid with her, you got to make it work. But
I guarantee you right now, me and my ex-wife, it's healthier for my son to see the relationship we have as 2 separate people, you know, both raising him as a team, than the relationship we would have together in the same household. We would be killing each other. And that wouldn't be
mine
good
was the
for
same. My parents was the same way.
We get along great though as a divorced couple.
Right. Mine got divorced when I was 8 months old or something. I don't know, but they live a block away from each other, and they've always gotten along. Yeah. And so that part, you know, like later on, you know, other relationships and other stuff, like. But as far as that's concerned, you know, I think they did it the right way. Yeah. I mean,
it's cool. It could be. I think definitely it will improve your child's. It can improve everything about the development of a child if you have 2 parents working together, doing it right,
even if they're not living.
Well, I'm saying if they are compared to if they are separate. I think they definitely have an edge and a step up.
All I know,
that could definitely be why there were so many valedictorians.
All I know is that whatever generation it is that's coming up, and I'm not including your kid. All right. But his generation of kids, you're gonna have to move him away or something.
They're fucked.
They're all being raised by crazy fucking drunk single parents, single moms usually. Oh no! What if? But dude, from what I've seen, it's gonna be nuts.
It is.
And I've seen a lot of people, and I'm not talking about.
I thought you were gonna go down the whole other route as far as the digital age that we're in, dude. When we were kids, video games were just starting out. But now, dude, you cannot take a shit without looking at an LCD screen on the way down to the hallway.
Oh yeah, our kids' eyes are fucked.
Dude, they're gonna be screwed. And plus, everything is digital, dude. They're not gonna need to go to the library to look up when the War of 1812 was.
That's the only reason.
They're gonna look on the fucking internet. But dude, remember when you were a kid and you had to do a project? You went down to the library.
Oh yeah.
You fumbled through like 50 books. You found out 1,000 different facts. But nowadays we go exactly where we need to.
We had to do that all the way into high school, pretty much. Like we grew up in a childhood without the internet. It's not gonna be like that anymore. Yeah, we had the internet, but it was fucking dial up, and I remember
dial up. The first time I got online, I was like 11, 12, and by that time I had already experienced. My childhood was pretty much coming to an end. It was beginning of my teenage years, which is still childhood, but Anyways, dude, I think it definitely affects all that. I think definitely. But you were saying you're sitting there watching them from the other side of the fence.
Oh yeah, it's just I didn't realize how dumb and corny But it pretty much it also makes me realize if I was gonna be doing a speech for my graduation when I was 18, and then my 27-year-old body could travel back in time and watch myself in the stands giving that speech, I would have thought, that guy's a fucking douchebag.
Dude.
You know what I mean? So
I would have been throwing
I just came to the conclusion that all 18-year-olds are fucking douchebags.
Stupid. Yeah.
And I told my sister the other day, I said, she tried to pipe up about something. I don't remember what it was, but it was almost being holier than thou kind of thing. And I said, first of all, you don't even get to be in this discussion because you don't know anything. And she's all, what makes you say that? I said, because you're graduating high school tomorrow. How does that mean I don't know anything? Because you don't. You haven't even lived in life yet.
Yeah, it hasn't even started.
All the shit you've learned all through school, it is very valuable. I think, you got to go to school to learn even more than book stuff. Right. You learn a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well, you learn discipline.
Interpersonal relations.
Shit you don't want to do at all.
Just a lot of stuff. But
that real life shit that you get through life with.
Thank you. As I have a just complete moment.
Common sense, street smarts.
Hey, at least when you're 18, your brain doesn't freeze up on you and you fucking just stop talking in the middle of a thought. But, okay, until you experience real life, fucking... and you're out there and you're paying bills and you're paying rent and you have to work to do it. And then if you're in a relationship, what do you do when that goes south? Because it's going to. You're fucking 18. It will. Yeah. It's inevitable. I know I know a lot of people. I know so many people. I'm a pretty big deal. But I know maybe one or two couples that have stuck together since high school that that were high school sweethearts, the old, and they seem happy, more power to them, but it's not the majority by any means.
No.
And so definitely. Odds are, I thought I was in the most loving relationship of my life when I was 18
fact is, you just
that I've ever had.
Don't know who you are.
But exactly, you haven't learned a goddamn thing about yourself until you're in situations where you have to make choices.
Right. And there's no possible way to know who you want to be with if you don't know who you are.
Exactly.
You got to figure out who you are first.
And
18-year-olds, that's why those relationships never last, dude.
Yeah.
But see, you don't figure this out.
And I still want to date 18-year-olds, but it just never works.
I know. And you don't figure this out till, your 10-year reunion. You're like, damn. You know what gets me, too, is looking at all these 18-year-olds. They're like cattle, dude. Just going to slaughter, and the world's just going to destroy them. And, brash their hopes and dreams.
And the poor little fuckers don't even know.
Not all of them, they have no idea what's going to happen.
And the thing about it is, if
Like, they think they got shit figured out.
If I was in that same situation and I listened to my douchebag 18-year-old self give a stupid faggoty speech and about fucking some kind of idealism, I was really, I thought I knew some shit when I was 18. I read a lot of books.
Me too.
I fucking,
I was an intellectual back then.
Oh, totally. And you called yourself an intellectual too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And if I would have gotten a chance to take my little fucking idiot self aside, my little fucking hair with my little hairless chin, and my and less scars on my face,
other hairless body part,
less scars on my face and knuckles. Oh, I was all bushed out at that time. I don't even play with it.
I realized.
18 years old? Are you kidding me? I was trimming that bush every couple of days. Okay, so if I could take my little self aside and try to give him the wisdom of the world that I've learned 10 years later, and really try to, it would not sink in a fucking iota. Because I had people in my life like that.
Exactly what I needed to hear, and I wouldn't hear it.
Had people in my life like that probably told me 90% of the stuff that I would tell my little fucking douchebag self.
Shit that I should have done. But dude, hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah, things are cliches for a reason, and
right.
And if they weren't true for so long,
dude,
I'm getting a phone call.
I started out.
Hang on a second now. Hey mom, you gotta be on the pod. Hello.
Need a ride?
No, I do not.
Oh, did you get some bread today? Yeah, you got me talking like that. Damn it.
Did I what?
What'd she say?
Did I what?
Get some bread.
Some blood?
Bread. You know, food. Bread.
What am I, a vampire or something?
Sandwich bread.
Oh, no, I didn't get any bread.
This is what happens when you drive home drunk.
Okay.
And lose your license.
Is that hey, the dog got bit by one of the other dogs and it's all infected, and I squeezed a bunch of pus out of it.
I gave him a ride home today.
Then cleaned it.
On its arm?
Yeah.
On its elbow?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Swollen up and hard. But I put some peroxide on it, and it seems to be fairly clean. But I can't stop her from scratching it, and her owners need to get here now.
Well, the one is still working right now, but we'll be free shortly.
Okay.
That.
We'll keep them separated until
now
then.
Pronunciation runs in the family.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Anyways, dude, I started out right after high school.
Me mum always good for a laugh, eh?
I started out real courteous and polite, and honestly, in the past decade, dude, I've gotten kind of bitchy. Causation, partly, dude. The world just.
Hey, that's not a word.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
kidding, it is a word. It's totally a word.
The world, it's just, it's got a desensitizing effect. And partially because I've realized, though, the main reason that I'm not so courteous and polite anymore is because being a dick is much more productive. Dude, you get shit done. It's like, nice guys, they really do finish last. It's like when you're trying or attempting to get your kid ready for any event whatsoever. And, the number 2 voice, inside voice we all learned about in elementary school just isn't cutting it.
You're talking about You're talking about when you.
Yeah, these times they require the best asshole accent you can muster up, dude. Seriously, it's just you gotta get pissed sometimes.
I've been told my asshole accent is pretty defined and.
I'm just saying, being a dick, people cater to you. They're like, oh shit, I don't want the wrath of this guy. I don't want him to yell at me. Like going to a department store. Go into Macy's. I hate it. I'm nice to people. Go into Macy's and be a fucking asshole and see how many people will be like, what do you need? I'm talking about people working there, dude.
Because
people working there. Because they know assholes.
Well, here's what happens is okay, this is the cliche show today. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
We're dissecting.
There's the whole money and power thing, and if you got money, you're confident about your power. So if you go in and you're confident about your power, people think you have money. Therefore, they do what you say.
Yeah.
Hence being a dick about it.
I'm not sure exactly why it is, and I can't bring myself.
I think that's part of it.
Walk around being a dick to people just to get what I want, but I'm starting to put a little bit of an asshole twist on things just because it works so well. It does, dude.
See,
if you just get a little bit pissed,
my whole outlook on it is like I've gotten, I think, more jaded every couple of years. Like I lose more hope in humanity as I get older. Yeah. I still have the hope for a select few, but thinking about what few it is, it gets smaller and smaller. You know, my view of like where those people are, but
I'm getting cold-hearted.
But also, no, it's it kind of is
like a hockey player. But
I'm just as sensitive and emotional to the people that matter still. I'm just less sensitive and emotional to the people that don't matter, and I'm better at defining who those people are.
Yeah. And when you meet new people, though, when you want to be nice to them, it's harder to bring a new person in because the whole trust issue.
True.
I think it's based a lot on trust. Why you do that?
Well, in the beginning, of course, there's no even. You shouldn't even talk about a trust issue because that's something you got to earn and prove.
Yeah.
And it only takes time. You can't just prove to somebody that you're trustful in a day. It takes time and like that. So that doesn't come. But what I do notice is like I don't treat anybody different ever. I don't think anybody's special. Hence the reason why I tend to pick on our buddy that we work with. He's a really nice guy. I like him a lot, and he does talk his fair share of shit, but he also doesn't talk near enough shit for the amount of shit that I give him. It's just fun to me. But he's good. He takes it well. He don't get mad about it, and he doesn't get offended, which is good. Cause what was the saying that somebody said? Was it today or yesterday about guys say a lot of shit that they don't mean?
Oh, I saw it on Facebook. I was talking about it. Fucking guys insult each other and they don't really mean it, and women compliment each other and they don't really mean it.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That's a good one. Author unknown. I don't know who said that.
It's always author unknown. I bet it was Dr. Seuss.
Speaking of those damn preschool graduations.
Yeah.
Coming up with that clever terminology.
All right. Well, how soon do you gotta get out of here?
Now, dude.
You do gotta get out of here. All right. Well, we'll say goodbye to Nathan for the day. Or maybe I'll take a break and we can finish it or something. But right now we're going to get into the thing we do every week in the middle of this beeswax is play a song of mine. This one's called Back to Basics. It's my personal favorite. The producer on it is Drew Suffer, LSD. Much thanks to him for giving me the beat for my favorite song that I ever did in the world forever. Back to Basics. Here it is.
Peace out.
Check.
I'm elevated when the drums kick and some kid plugs a mic in. Pulse and pressure rising and I'm sighted as the lights dim. The mood's vibrant, hyper, non-violent. Just the type to light it up and have a good time. With props to the host in the opening act, but it's about to be the real reason why the venue is packed. I make my way from the back when I get me a chance, and when it starts I'm in the front row throwing up hands because I love it. Inside and out, but not above it. Put me up a product and peddle it to the public. Fuck it, this is how we do it right here. Drink a couple light beers, grab the mic and fight fears. And a representative of myself and the culture. You've been kicking rocks and I've been rolling Whispers off the mountaintop, making my path and untaken. Topics taboo, but the music stays sacred. The place flagrant, amazed by the way this used to be an art form, now they straight raping. It's back to basics, motherfucking fitness. Take that premature style to the crib that you played in. It's cave music, get your soul into it. Lose it until you don't realize what you're doing. And hey, sound man, throw some volume in the mix, but keep the track moving, man, I love this shit. Beats, notebooks, years of practice, crafting on these tracks with the will of a blacksmith. The fact is, when it comes down to the action, this shit is in my blood, homie, I love rapping. Beats, notebooks, years of practice, crafting on these tracks with the will of a blacksmith. The fact is, when it comes down to the action, this shit is in my blood, homie, I love rapping. Back to basics, smooth it out like basics. Lick the rhythm steadily out my head into the pavement. Spill the brain fluid, laced with influence. Made to pursue this and bring a little change to it. Rough, half latchkey kid and half stable. The size of my Adidas never colored me graceful, but I kept stomping and I covered my tracks. Wasn't being followed and there's no turning back. And then when I discovered this love, it was like no other. It just hit me in between the eyes and made me uncover what I wanted to do the rest of my life, and that's making music. If I died out in this book, I'd be happy, and that's some true shit. The movement is still happening, even if only inches. But I gotta make more effort on record from start to finish. It's diminished how they treat it and calling themselves elitists. With the newer fans searching to find that playlist and delete it. No easy streets, kid, no feast at the table. Nothing now to follow but the beat and where the flame goes. I can feel it burning in my chest and I feed it. Scraps of love letters and Jehovah Witness leaflets. Defeat the weakness, creeping through your sequence. Driven isn't just freestyling on the weekends. Pandering to people just for plays, that's pretend. I do it for the soul and the mind, and it's decent. Beats, notebooks, years of practice, crafting on these tracks with the will of a blacksmith. The fact is, when it comes down to the action, this shit is in my blood, homie, I love rapping. Beats, notebooks, years of practice, crafting on these tracks with the will of a blacksmith. The fact is, when it comes down to the action, this shit is in my blood, homie, I love rapping. And there it is. That's all it's about, through and through, you know. But you gotta love it. Hey, Drew, bring that shit back one more time.
So there it is. There you have it. I'm just better than you at rapping. That's all. That's all there is to it. If you don't think I'm better than you at rapping, I want you to do one thing. I want you to go listen to all my music I have on SoundCloud.com/AdmireMusic, and then come back and tell me that you're better than me at rapping. Don't forget SoundCloud.com/AdmireMusic. Prove your point to me. Listen to all my shit. Download it. Even. I dare you. Okay, anyways. Oh yeah. Twitter.com/DannyAdmire. DANNY. Admire like the word. And that's enough of the shameless self-promotion. Fucking tongue-tied idiot. Anyways, I want to thank Nate for dropping by, giving us a little living being to bounce some thoughts off of. It's always nice, and I appreciate it. Yeah, I kind of want to go back to, what I was saying earlier about really almost despising the person that I was 2 years ago. Always. 2 years from now, I'm going to think that the person that's sitting here talking to you is the biggest idiot in the world. And 2 years from then, I might figure out that I was wrong, and that the person talking to you now is a fucking genius. You never know. It's the trick is to just constantly learn and to constantly be ashamed of yourself that you were before. Because if that's the case, then you're constantly getting better. What do you mean getting better? They say. Getting better means getting better at being you. getting better at being a person, a human being, but also getting better at being your human being, because there's no one like you. You're the center of your universe. And, the important thing is to be comfortable with that. And, it's hard because you can't give, like I said, me and Nate were saying before, you can't give advice to somebody that's not ready to hear it. And, a 27-year-old's advice is almost going to fall on deaf ears to an 18-year-old or, even, 22, 24. You get older, you start listening more and realizing you don't know a goddamn thing. And, you pick and choose what sounds good to you. Things you hear, platitudes, points, discussions. You pick and choose what feels good to you and feels right. I can only speak for myself, but I've always known what feels right and what doesn't. That's why I'm not a religious person, because, I think that everybody has got it there. You condition yourself out of, feeling like a shitty person when you do wrong, or, you don't do stuff that makes you feel like a shitty person. That's all there is to it. It's real simple. You don't have to complicate and muddle up things, add deities and whatnot. Maybe there is, what the fuck do I know? Maybe there was somebody that put that sense of right and wrong inside of us before we were born, when we were just little sparkles in our daddy's nutsacks. But you know what? I don't care. I'm good. I can wait to find out. It's not a big deal. That's all it is. Just, don't do stuff that makes you feel like shit. That's what the Bible should be, a title, and then the title page, and then that fucking blank joint paper that you have in every Bible. It's like, a buffer zone between the words of God and the cover, I guess. You cut them out and roll joints up when you're in 9th grade. It's like too thick to be a joint paper, but hey, work with what you got when you're 12 or 13 or whatever. What was I saying again? Anyways, yeah, it should be one page after that, after the blank joint paper, one page after that, and that's all it should say. Don't do stuff that makes you feel like shit. And you don't need all the stories and the parables and the examples of God's great fire and brimstone power. Pointless. Confusion. Complication. Don't need it. Simplicity. It's the way I see it. Yeah. So anyways, where were we? Talking about, maturing as you grow older and looking back on things. It's neat making music because I've got a recorded history of my douchebaggery staring me in the face, when I get into the music catalog. I made rap songs when I was 18 that I am ashamed of. I would sooner kill my grandmother in front of a live audience than play these songs for a live audience or a dead audience or any audience whatsoever. It's just cringeworthy. I get this like sweat, the shame sweat that I think probably smells just like, just shame, just sadness and embarrassment sweat, But but it's there, and I'm glad I did it, It's a toss-up whether I would erase it for good if I could, which I probably can. I know there's some shit out there somewhere that people could bring to the table and get back at me with that I probably burnt out when I was 19 and thought it was the bangingest song in the world when I was a little douchebag 19-year-old self. idealistic and whatnot. Arrogant, maybe, a little bit. As I sit here and tell you that I'm better than you at rapping, and tell you that I was arrogant back then. You know, it is what it is, and I've got a recorded history of it. So maybe I'll go back and 2 years people will be playing these podcasts for me and as an example of what an idiot I was or am still. Who knows? I don't care. I like having it. Blah 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 blah. So getting back into the music thing, I'm starting to feel uber creative again. That's why I want to do the podcast and try to get back out there. I've in the last couple of years slowed down a lot of my music making. When I was 19, 20, cranking out just shit songs, 21 maybe, just cranking out garbage. I was still cranking them out. I kind of feeling that again, where I'm starting to carry a notebook in my pocket again. That way I can write down ideas that I have, because I'm getting more ideas, and it makes me sick to forget about them because I have a shitty memory, but I do. And all these things just go by the wayside. I once told a guy I was in an argument with, he was trying to say things to hurt my feelings, and I told him, dude, I've forgotten more good ideas today than you'll come up with in your entire life. And not that I always feel confident in saying that to somebody, but to this particular person, I felt extremely confident saying that too. And I don't want to forget him anymore, so I'm gonna write this shit down. I don't know what is the stage before you become a budding something or other, but I'm maybe larval, you would go with. Larval stages of, want to be a stand-up, getting into the acoustic music again. Really want to jump back on the scene, start playing shows for people. So I'm doing it. I'm doing this podcast. I'm going to start having friends come in that know how to play instruments other than their mouths. And we'll play little acoustic shows for you if you're still listening. Yeah, if you don't like them, let me know. I'm not going to really give a shit, but I'll read it and maybe destroy you or something. Yeah, maybe I'll take you out to dinner. Treat you real nice. Someplace sweet, like high class, like Sizzler. Salad bar, son. No, the way to go is to get the entree that comes with the salad bar at Sizzler. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to get into a Sizzler salad bar conversation with myself. I'm not going to do it. Actually, what I'm going to do is sign off, seeing as how this has gotten stale. I don't know what else to talk about this week. I will be back in a few days, though, because if everything works out, I'm going to have another friend coming in and a different guest, so to speak, and we'll keep you guys entertained for quite some time. It's going to be a long podcast next time, I'm telling you. I'm calling it right now. Sunday. Look for it Sunday so I can gloat about my UFC 161 predictions that are all going to be correct. And yeah, and me and my buddy Kynes will have a talk. We'll have a little talk. Signing off. I'm Admire. This is the Cave Music Podcast. Twitter.com/DannyAdmire. SoundCloud.com/AdmireMusic. Subscribe to my page. Do the right thing. I'm interesting half the time at least. Like the time that I'm breathing or licking my lips or saying Anyways, have a good rest of your week. I'll talk to you soon, fuckers.